Hello everyone. So we'll be continuing with the next part of this relations, that is about the summation. Previous video we have come across the relations related to AP, few formulas, standard formulas based on AP. Now we will go to the derivations or the problems which are important, like certain relations in an AP which will be helpful for you to determine a problem and get an answer for it in an easier way. Okay, more like you have done these problems or proved these relations in your normal syllabus and you have forgotten, obviously. And now I want you all to recall that particular syllabus and that particular relation, and I want you all to apply it in this competitive exams. Okay, so I want you all to listen to this carefully. I have given an example as well as I am explaining the formula. So quickly we'll get back to it now. So you can see that if in an AP, if TP is equal to TQ, any P and Q can be any number. Okay, do not get confused when I'm telling A, B, C, D, F, G, anything like that. So this P and Q are random numbers. If TP is the Pth term is equal to Qth term, if Pth term is equal to Q and Qth term is equal to P. Don't feel it is nonsense, I'll explain it quickly. Okay, then they are telling that if the P plus Qth position term is 0. Okay, so now if Pth term is equal to Q and Qth term is equal to P, then the P plus Qth term is always 0. So they can ask this in a question, and they can maybe something like this. One example I'll give you. If you can see T1 is equal to 5 and fifth term is equal to 1. Okay, the first term is equal to 5 and the fifth term is equal to 1. You can see it is just flipping each other and interchanging the position of P and Q, and here it is P is 1 and Q is 5. Correct? This is an example which I have given. The first term T1 is 5, T5 is 1. So which means TP is equal to 5 and P is equal to 1. TQ is equal to 1 and Q is equal to 5. It's just the mirror image of each other. P and Q are, the Pth term is Q and Qth term is P. So that is what I am looking for, and they might ask what is the sixth term of this particular question. Okay, the sixth term of this, that means 5 plus 1, isn't it? P is 1 and Q is 5, so 5 plus 1. And without even solving anything, you should be able to tell the answer is 0. Okay, so it is not random guessing. You are just you remember this formula and you can just tell randomly. If at all any particular question, if I assume, if I tell that 10th term is equal to 2 and the second term is equal to 10, then they are asking what is 12th term. Without even thinking, just I can tell 10 plus 2 is 12. So the 12th term is equal to 0. Okay, that is how useful this particular formula is. So now I hope you all understood what the formula means. Let me tell you how even more better to remember it. So I mean how it is derived or how it is useful. So here you understood this part. Then find out why that particular thing is 0 is because the D value, that is the common difference value, you will get it as -1. This formula, I hope you remember in the previous video I have told, that is Tp minus Tq divided by P minus Q is nothing but the common difference. I am trying to find out the common difference, that with the help of Tp I am taking it as T1 and Tq I am taking it as T5, and P minus Q is 1 minus 5. 5 minus 1 by 1 minus 5 is nothing but 4, and minus 4, answer will get it as -1. And you already know in this the first term is 5, correct? So that first term is 5 and the common difference is -1. If they are asking P plus Q, that is nothing but 5 plus 1, that is sixth term, T6. T6 can be helped out with the formula of A plus 5D, which is derived from this formula, that is A plus n minus 1 into D, that is 6 minus 1 is 5D. Okay, I hope you remember what I am trying to tell you here. So sixth term is A plus 5D, just substitute the values in that. A is how much I told? 5, and D is -1. So this is how it is, 5 minus 5, it is 0. This is how I checked whether this formula is working for every term or not. So it is clear that it works for every particular problem. So you need not derive this every single time. So I am just proving that this formula is true. With this example, I just proved that this formula is true. And I hope you have understood what this formula exactly means. So you'll be able to understand whether this is the formula which needs to be used in a particular problem and obtain an answer like that. So I gave you already an example. Any random terms, if they give and if they are asking the sum of the terms, or I mean the p plus qth term, then it is obviously 0 without even thinking about it. Okay, this is one way. When the p plus qth term is 0, there is another condition, that is p into the pth term is equal to q into the qth term. If this condition satisfies in any random AP, if this condition satisfies, then also the p plus q term is 0. Okay, so these are the two conditions which you will be looking for if in case they have asked you to find out what is the p plus q term. So you can see, I'll give an example for this as well. Suppose in an AP, some random AP, I'll multiply and see that the 5 into, here you can see the TP is equal to Q condition, that is fifth term is 8, and TQ is equal to P, eighth term is equal to 5. Okay, now I'll tell that the fifth term is 8 and the eighth term is 5. So just by looking at this, these two are the mirror image of each other, correct? No? That's what I told in the previous year. That is first term is 5 and fifth term is 1. The same thing is going on over here. That is fifth term is 8 and the eighth term is 5. Same thing if I substitute in this formula, I will end up getting the same answer, that is minus 1. So one more thing you can note in this particular problem itself is, if at all the terms, the position of the term and the term is mirror image of each other, that is 8 and 5, 5 and 8, or 1 and 5, 5 and 1, or any other number which is each other. So that time the common difference will always be minus 1. Remember this, okay? If the position of the number and the number itself is going to be the mirror image of each other, then the common difference is always equal to minus 1. So when I get the common difference is minus 1, you can check in this one. So what I'll do is, what they are expecting me to find out is Tp plus Q. Check whether Tp plus Q, this particular formula holds good or not. So P plus Q is nothing but 5 plus 8, that is T13. So I need to check whether the 13th term is 0 or not. I mean, in the exam, you will always know that the 13th term is 0 because this condition is satisfied already. You can check whether it is satisfied or not. 5 into T5, T5 is 8, 5 into 8, and 8 into T8, T8 is 5. So this is also 40 and this is also 40. Since the condition is satisfied, I can directly tell that 13th is what will happen to the next term. That is, we already know by the given condition that the T5, the fifth term, is equal to 8. Okay, so I'll make use of this condition. The fifth term is 8. The next term, that is sixth term, I know the common difference, that is minus 1. If the common difference is negative, it will go on subtracting for the next coming numbers in an AP. Okay, so if sixth term will be nothing but 8 minus 1, 8 minus the common difference, that is 7. This is the sixth term. Fifth term will be 6. Fourth term will be fifth, sixth, seventh term will be 6, and eighth term will be 5, and the ninth term will be 4. Then the 10th term will be 3. Then the 11th term will be 2. Then 12th term will be 1, and then the 13th term is 0. So this is what I was telling y'all. So I need not do all this nonsense. I can just simply tell that the 13th term is 0 thanks to this formula. So this is the use of these two formulas. We'll continue next. Our third relation which we need to know about AP. That is, in an AP, if at all the sum of the pth term, till now we came across the pth term itself and the qth term itself. Now we are moving on to the sum of the pth term is if it is equal to q, and the sum of the qth term is equal to p. Remember, whenever I am writing s, that means the sum. Okay, whenever I am writing only t, that means it is the term itself. So now it is sum of the pth term is equal to q, and the sum of the qth term is equal to p. Then the sum of p plus qth term is always equal to minus p plus q. Just the positions, you need to add them and write a negative symbol before them. So you can prove it in the same way as I proved the previous formulas or the previous relations. The same way you can prove it also. You can check it on your own, and please check it, okay, so that you will remember. If you don't check it, you will simply try to by heart and you will forget it. So I want you all to check it, and I want you all to prove it to yourself. Yes, this formula holds good. That is, the sum of the pth term, if it is equal to q, and the sum of the qth term is equal to p, then the sum of p plus qth term is always equal to minus of p plus q. Okay, minus of p plus q. Don't do it minus p and plus q. Do not do that mistake. That answer will be there in your option, obviously. They will not ask you the formula, remember. There is no point in by hearting this formula. They will not ask you this formula, but instead they will ask a question in such a way that this formula is applicable to that question. I hope you all are understanding what I am trying to tell. Some random question will be asked in such a way that this condition is satisfied, and they will ask you the question, what is SP plus Q? So you, instead of applying SN formula and then substituting, then finding D, everything else, you can get the answer just in 1 minute by minus of P plus Q, or simply add the two position terms and then put a minus sign in before them. So that will be your answer. Okay, you can check and see, and you will come across certain problems when I give you the question. So please go through it. Fine. So in this, the next relation which you need to know is about, if at all the sum of P terms is equal to sum of Q terms, that means the sum of P plus Q terms is always equal to 0. If at all the sum of P terms, sum of certain number of terms in an AP, is equal to a sum of another set of terms in another AP, that means the sum of P plus Q will always be equal to 0. So that is known condition. So these relations will help you to solve a difficult problem or a lengthier problem which you have solved in the normal classes much easier just in a minute. So that will be helpful for you. So that was all about AP, arithmetic progression. Now we are moving on to geometric progression, the next set of sequences and series. The geometric progression, I am sure you all have studied about it. You all have studied in the first PUC or the 11th grade. In that, just go through that, open the textbook and keep it when I am trying to explain all these formulas. It is all there in that, and you have studied already. So I'll just quickly glance over these formulas which you know you have already studied and not take much of a time. So we can move on quickly to the other topics. So in this topic, you need to know about the general form of GP, that is A into R, A into R square, A into R cube, then it continues till A into R to the power of n minus 1. So that is the general form of an AP. You already know the A is nothing but over here is first term, and the R is nothing but the common ratio. Okay. Then the nth term or the last term of that GP is given by A into R to the power of n minus 1. I'm pretty sure you all have worked out these problems, and at least it would be coming to your mind right now when I'm trying the formulas. Okay, so I hope you have the textbook open in front of you. The first year textbook, it should be open, and see what and all the formulas you have come across. It can be represented in the form of Tn also or An also. It doesn't matter, it's one and the same. So the nth term is A into R to the power of n minus 1. Okay, then the sum of n terms is equal to Sn. There are two different conditions. Again, you have studied this. If at all the common ratio is greater than 1, if at all the common ratio is greater than 1, it is A into R to the power of n, then the minus 1. That is, Rn and the R will come first, then minus 1 will be done when R is greater than 1. For obvious reasons, if at all R is lesser than 1, R minus 1 will become negative number. So some will avoid it to become negative. Okay. So that is the reason I'm going to, if at all it is R is less than 1, the sum of n terms will be A into 1 minus R to the power of n, 1 minus R. It is just a interchange of position. Whenever the common ratio is greater than 1, Rn and R will come first. Then if at all it is less than 1, then the 1 will come before the Rn and R. Okay, so that is all to understand and remember this one. So one mistake which you all have done or maybe will be doing in the future is, some people might write it as R whole to the power of n to the n minus 1. That is, they might think this like this, R to the power of n minus 1, and this is wrong. Okay, that is not what the formula says. It is Rn is a separate topic, and this minus 1 is a separate thing. Okay, so do not do that mistake. First see Rn and then subtract it with 1, and you will get the formula right and the answers will be correct. Then there is one more thing, the sum of infinite series, which mainly occurred when they are asking you to find out unlimited number of terms are present or infinite number of terms are present. So S infinity, the sum of infinite terms is nothing but A by 1 minus R. Okay, so this is a direct formula, just remember it as it is. S infinity is equal to A by 1 minus R. Okay, so A by 1 minus R is the formula for S infinity, that is sum of infinite terms. Next, moving on to, this is all about GP, and there are few formulas which you have already studied, and go through this formula, recall what is GP, then we'll move on to HP. So HP is the most ignored topic of sequence and series, which has a certain very similar and exactly the same as that of arithmetic progression. But I hope you all don't ignore it even for the CET exam. Some random one question might be present of HP. It is easy and do not read it. So it is nothing but the reciprocal of AP, as I have told. It is HP is nothing but 1 by AP. All formulas whatever you have studied in AP, just reciprocal it, and that will give you the formulas for harmonic progression. Okay, I'm pretty sure you all have done this sums, but first you will find out in the form of AP itself, and then the answer you reciprocal. That itself is an AP. So you need not confuse with HP much. So you just need to know there are few more formulas with the HP. If in an HP, Tm is equal, the mth term is equal to n, and the nth term is equal to m. It is same as pth term is equal to q, and the qth term is equal to p. So there, if that condition is satisfied, we have three relations to go. Okay, similar to the AP relations, we have some similar relations with HP. First relation is nothing but TR, the rth term, any random term, is equal to m plus m into n divided by r. Okay, if at all they are asking some random term r, you just have to multiply m and n and divide it by the given term, that is r. So that will give you the answer for TR. And Tm into n, the m into nth term, will always be equal to 1 when this condition is satisfied. Remember, these formulas are not suitable for all the HPs. They are suitable only when this condition of an HP is satisfied. These three formulas will be fulfilled. So you need to look for, if at all this condition is satisfied, then Tm into n is equal to 1, and Tm plus n is equal to m into n divided by m plus n. Okay, so this is about the HP and its relations. So go through this and check in your textbook. You'll have these relations or these relation proof you have in your textbook. Just go through it quickly, and this will be helpful for you in solving the CET problems as well. Again, the last topic of sequence and series, mean of progressions, that is arithmetic mean, geometric mean, and the harmonic mean. You have already studied about it, so just giving a basic glance of the formulas. The arithmetic progression is nothing but a plus b divided by 2. Then geometric mean is nothing but root of a into b. Harmonic mean is nothing but 2ab divided by a plus b. You all have derived this formula, you have studied this formula, you all have worked out these questions. I hope so. Okay, so if you have not, then quickly glance in the textbook and recall what and all you have done. And always remember this one condition of mean progressions, that is the arithmetic arithmetic mean will be always greater than the geometric mean, and harmonic mean will be the least value possible. Okay, so the order sequence of this means will go in such a way: arithmetic mean first, geometric mean second, and then the harmonic means. So you can see just by looking at it also you can make out arithmetic mean is nothing but this sum of two terms divided by 2. Geometric mean is the square root of 2 multiple terms of that. Then harmonic mean is some fraction. So fraction, which means the denominator is greater. So obviously harmonic mean will be the smallest one. Okay. So I want you all to go through all these topics and keep it in your mind. So this will be helpful for solving the problems, and a few question paper problems, that is 10 or 10 or 9, I don't know. I have written the questions, and it's all the question paper problems. So I want you all to take your time. It doesn't matter. It's just maybe 9 questions or 10 questions. I want you all to take your own time, maybe 1 hour. It's up to you all. So take that time without seeing any formula. First you recall and revise everything what and all you need to know about sequence and series. Whatever the questions I am giving you all, I'll be sending the questions to you in that picture. So that will be related to all the videos which I have done so far. Okay, all the videos, it's only related to all the videos. So before writing the test, make sure you all are clear with all the videos and all the topics what and all I have covered till now. I have picked up few question paper problems from that, these topics which I have covered till these videos, this video. I want you all to go through all the videos which I've done previously also till today's video. So, and go write down work out the question paper clearly without cheating on yourself, because whatever you're going to do it is only for you and nobody is going to bother about it. I want you all to practice that question paper. Take as minimum time as possible. Okay, then send me the picture of the solutions along with the notes of this. Okay, along with the notes of this, I want you all to send the picture of that question paper solution as well, not just marking the answers. I want the solved version of those questions. Okay, solve it, and maybe a rough sheet or whatever it is. I just want you all to write the question number, then the solution, then the answer, whatever the option is. So that way, and I will give another video once everyone has submitted all the question papers, or those questions, whatever I have done, whatever I have given. After everyone has completed solving and sent me the picture, then I will upload another video which solves those questions which I have given to you. Okay, in that way you will be covering up the question paper problems to the maximum extent. So you will come to know, once you have solved it on your own, you will come to know how useful these topics will be. Clear? So if any doubts you have, let me know. You can message or voice. It's up to you. Okay, thank you.